What's up, everybody over at TikTok land? How's everybody doing today? And hello, hello, hello. It is. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Dan Evans over at Instagram. Dan, I need to get you on the show. It's been far too long since we've chatted. Not sure if you remember me. Probably not. Appreciate you jumping on, Mr. Evans. Appreciate you. Let's get together soon. I'll reach out and get you on the show here. Need to get you on the show. Need to. Long overdue. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna take a minute here, just get everybody on. I'm running a little late today because we've had some technical difficulties with one of our cameras. It happens, and it is really, really warm out in here, even with the air conditioning on. So this is going to be a barn burner today. How's everybody doing? How's everybody week going? Hope you guys are having a blessed week. Can you believe that it's May already? May. It's May already. I can't believe it. But May is like one of my favorite months, especially here at HMG, because we say that May is Heroes Month. And let's be honest, like every month should be Heroes Month. You know, we celebrate our community heroes and whatnot. Oh my gosh, my heart stops here. We got Kaylin is on, and stop the press, everybody. My goodness. Kaylin, good morning. I hope you are well. I've purposely tried to leave you alone as much as possible this week. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. Yeah, May. We say May is Heroes Month here, or I kind of came up with May being Heroes Month around here because if you look at it, you have May is military military appreciation month, and then you have a day where Military Spouse Day. We have nurses week, you have police week, but the entire month of May is military appreciation month. So for all of my brothers and sisters in arms, thank you. And speaking of one, Rich, good morning, sir. How are you, brother? Appreciate you. Oh, 20 mile hike. Hey, be safe, Rich. Be safe. Rich jumped on over at on Facebook there. Rich from the Misfit Nation podcast. Make sure we check that out. We're going to be talking about his show a little bit later. TikTok land, good morning to you guys from all around the world. Appreciate you guys jumping on. Instagram, Doc Buzz 89. Appreciate you, Doc. When you coming back up this way, man? When you coming back up PA Philly area, man? We gotta get together again. So, how's everybody's weeks doing? We got a decent day today, I think, planned for us today. I think not a lot of newsworthy articles that I found, so it'll be short this week. Appreciate it, Doc. Thanks for jumping on, brother. TikTok land, what we got over here? Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for jumping on. Bobby C, Linda, David L, 1917. Appreciate you. Bostonian, Pitsy. Thank you guys all. We'll get a few more people on here. So, like I said when I started off, May here at HMG is Heroes Month. And it was kind of funny. I think I said this last year. It was like they combine all of like the community heroes pretty much. So some important dates to remember. Again, Military Appreciation Month is all month. Appreciate you, our military heroes. National Nurses Week is May 6th through May 12th. Police Week is May 15th through the 25th. So, good stuff there. Now, for non-hero stuff related, Tomorrow is May 4th for all you Star Wars fans out there. And I had a joke in it. Like I was going to try to mess up that, but I'm not going to. So May 4th, let me be the first to say, May the 4th be with you. And then you got Cinco de Mayo, which I found out, fun fact, actually, Cinco de Mayo, which is celebrated more here in the United States, beer sales rival the Super Bowl, or excuse me, the big game. It seems to be more popular here in the U.S. Sandy Smith, what do we have here? Probably yes. I'm actually that's one of the topics that I'm going to be talking about what happened down at Chapel Hill. I will get into that in a few. So thank you for that, Sandy. Christina, good morning to you. Appreciate you folks jumping on. So this month here in May, I really want us to be positive and celebrate our community heroes. And again, if you run into a military man, active duty or veteran, shake their hand, some thank you, whatnot. Fun fact about Military Appreciation Month. The month-long celebration was formally introduced by the late Senator John McCain in 1999, using the month that marks many important military anniversaries to highlight the contribution of our troops. Also happening this month, near the end of the month, is Memorial Day. Okay, and we'll get into that more as the month goes on. Patriot Pride, appreciate you guys. We're going to be talking about you here. You guys are actually starting the show off once we get to that part, so stay tuned. Last weekend, I got to. I had the opportunity to go to an event out in Corryville, Pennsylvania, for an event called Pass the Torch for Veterans, PA, and it was pretty cool. They actually it was like a 4-day, 5-day carnival that they set up. And on the Saturday, we went out with our sister company, HMG Beverage, and sold coffee. And we need to do that more often. Had a blast. Got to meet a lot of great people. It was very cold that day, but had a good time. So everybody over at Pass the Torch for Veterans, thank you for that opportunity, for letting us come out. And we look forward to many more events and watching you guys' success moving forward. Next event that we're going to be at is May 18th, which is Armed Forces Day. We will be with our friends over at Warriors on the Water LTD for their annual pig roast. That's going to be held at the Ocotillo Reservoir in southern Lancaster County. It's near Kirkwood, Pennsylvania. This is for all veterans and first responders. It's actually for anybody, but particularly celebrating our military and first responders. So come on out. It's always a good time. We went last year for a little bit. A lot of fun. They bring out some military. The National Guard brings out some military vehicles. They do face painting for kids. And obviously, you get a lot of fishing in. So it was pretty good. Tony, Scott, I appreciate you, brother. Yes, it's got to flare it. It's just too hot in here. It's hot, baby. It's hot, baby. What else? Let's get into some of the news articles. And this first one that I'm talking about, you're not really seeing it in the news. So this was actually one I wanted to throw a wrench in right off the bat for you guys. DoD reallocates $130 million from the USAACE flight program for Ukraine and other foreign obligations. I saw this on Instagram through a fellow veteran. And they were talking about the Defense Department reallocated $130 million from its $140 million training budget, which is down at Fort Rucker or Fort, whatever they call it now. But it's obviously it's for the flight programs down there for the United States military. Pay attention to this. I thought this was pretty interesting. They say, and again, you're not going to see this very much if you Google this. There's probably 2 articles on it, maybe. Basically, what they're saying is that they took the funding out of the flight programs to cover foreign obligations. True or false? Does anybody have any more information on this? I've reached out to some of my contacts down there at the flight school, have not gotten any comments back on it, but I thought it was interesting. So I thought it's something to pay attention to. Next up, this is going to be how many people have seen the Flynn movie yet? Talking about General Flynn. Go to flynnmovie.com. And everybody, if those of you that remember General Flynn and everything that happened, very interesting story. I'm actually going to watch it this weekend, and I'll update you guys next week on it. I think it's something everybody needs to watch. And I kind of brought that up because I reread one of the books that he wrote, A Citizen's Guide to Fifth Generation Warfare. And him and a good friend of mine, Boone Cutler, wrote this book. And they've got several other books that have already come out in this series. I say it every week when I close the show, get out, think for yourselves, right? There's a lost art of critical thinking. We get so wrapped up in what we see on social media. I'm guilty of it, as well. But the stuff that you see, I don't really watch the news, and I don't really troll the news or try to find stuff. I get some stuff in my inbox, and I just kind of see what's interesting. I bring it to you guys, and I tell you guys every week, don't take my word for stuff. Go and look this stuff up and come up with your own conclusions on it. It's just some things that I find interesting myself. So let's check it out. Find out what really is going on with this stuff. Seems pretty interesting. Check it out. So in this particular book here, Fifth Generation Warfare. I love some of the comments on TikTok. That's fine. I seem educated. Yeah, I am. Thank you. Go out and find this stuff for yourself. Seriously. And dumb bow tie. Well, that's all right. That's I'm not. Some people are saying I'm not educated. That's fine. But I appreciate. But you're still watching me, and I love it. So that being said, moving on. Sandy had brought up a comment over on Facebook, and this is actually one of the next things I want to talk about. Frat brothers who protected the American flag down at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. There's a couple different things that are going on with this, but you see a bunch of pictures out there right now of this fraternity, these frat brothers standing together, not letting the American flag hit the ground. I've seen some different articles on it, like these pro-Palestinian protesters were trying to take the American flag down, put the flag up. I've seen where they were just trying to bring the flag down. But you see these guys holding the flag and standing around the flagpole, not letting the American flag hit the ground. I've also seen that somebody started, and I'm not sure what the number is up to. Last night, I saw a number somewhere in the realm of $375,000, $400,000. But somebody started a GoFundMe, I think it was. Don't quote me on that, but somebody started some type of fundraiser thing to raise money for this fraternity, and it was pretty crazy, the number. Now I can't say what the number's up to. This is something you got to go look up, but I just think it was interesting nonetheless. But my hat's off to these gentlemen that stood by and did not let our flag touch the ground. God bless you guys. That's absolutely amazing. Mike, thank you for jumping on. Appreciate it. Sandy, yeah, I can only imagine what it's like down there right now. You're seeing a lot of things happening around the college campuses now. That seems to be the next thing. It's a lot of these protests is like the new thing now. And if you pay attention to what's going on, certain things will happen, and then the news completely goes or something else pops up. It's not just down at Chapel Hill. You're seeing it there with the American flag, but there's other college campuses around all over the country that have been seeing a lot of protests and whatnot. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. We'll stay tuned for that. Rob, good morning to you. the professional rule breaker. Appreciate you for jumping on. Thank you. Next up, we got DEA agrees to reclassify marijuana under federal law. And this comes out of the AP, Associated Press. They reported earlier this week that the U.S. and Drug Enforcement Administration has agreed to reclassify marijuana under the federal law. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Capping that the Biden administration's effort to reform the nation's cannabis regulatory policy. Under the change, the DEA will reschedule marijuana under the Federal Controlled Substance Act to Schedule 3 instead of its current Schedule 1 status, a classification reserved for drugs with no medical value and high potential for abuse. Now, I know there's going to be mixed feelings on this. As a person that worked for a drug task force for a few years, this was something that we had to teach. And the last several years, when you really start taking out and researching what cannabis does, and you take away the two different strands, you have the THC strand and the CBD strand on it, and you see what cannabis can do, what it's done for cancer patients, what it does for Parkinson's and a few other things out there, and causes or it prevents a lot of pain, helps with relief. So it's pretty interesting. Gabe, good morning. I see you over there. Weed stocks are going up. Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. So it's interesting. I think it's interesting. But let me ask you this: those of you that are still on, with the classification of marijuana, is this something that has been long overdue? What are your guys' thoughts on that? I'll wait a second here because I really want to hear some feedback. Let's be respectful if you agree or disagree with it. But, I think this is a potential start, move in the right direction when it comes to certain, how do I want to say it? Certain things being used to help with pain management. I'll say it like that. But what are your guys' thoughts on the reclassification of marijuana? It's almost like one of those. I think a lot of people feel that it's about time that they reclassify it. And let's face it. I mean, how many people get it anyway, right? And then you have all these dispensaries and stuff like that. Anyhow. Good. What are the pros and cons of it? I think it's going to be interesting to see. So, last up with as far as headlines for the week go, banking systems. I found this one to be interesting. There was this bank, and this I found this here locally in out east here, but this bank became the first to fail in the United States this year. And here's what borrowers need to know. And if any of you bankers or any of you financial gurus out there, the Philadelphia-based Republic First Bank collapsed just last week, the first U.S. bank to fail this year. And this is in light of three banks that collapsed last year out in the Silicon Valley. This may not be the last failure that we see this year. That's a little scary, but money is safe as long as you have it in an account insured by the FDIC, or the National Credit Union Administration, which is basically if you're banking with a credit union. Why is this important? Why is it important to know what's going on with the banking systems right now? If banks are failing, they've had a couple fail last year, and you're starting to see more banks fail, and they're anticipating more banks failing this year. What are you going to do with your money? What happens next for this? I'm laying a seed here because this is something that we'll cover over the next couple of weeks, because I think you're going to see more and more of this, unfortunately. So that's it for headlines. Check out the banking stuff. And there's several articles about banking and whatnot. So I'm kind of curious if anybody's got any input of what they do. How many don't use banks? Are there anybody out there that don't use banks? Or banks here in the U.S. I hear a lot of online banking systems are being used now as well. So And I say online, like not your typical brick and mortar banks. I guess I should put it that way. What else? I got to give a shout out real quick as I'm thinking about it. Patriot Challenge is happening. Just started 2 days ago. Patriot Challenge through our friends at Gallant Few. Go check them out. Go to gallantfew.org. Great nonprofit organization. My friend Carl Monger started that in, I think, 2011. Great organization. And if you get an opportunity to participate in it this year, you can go to gallantfew.org, learn about it, or go to patriotchallenge.org and find out more information. Get registered and be a part of it. Proceeds go to help veterans and military service members transition out of the military. It's a great organization. Been working with them on and off for the last several years. So I just want to throw that out there. HMG Coffee for this entire month, 10% off your order. If you go to hmgcoffee.com, you can see all of our stuff in the background there, kind of. We had our some new blends that came out. So if you use promo code HMG10, you're going to get 10% off at the store. And bada bing, bada boom, we'll get that out to you. So we roast it ourselves. I roast it, and we'll mail it out to you. Go check it out. What else? The Flynn Movie Heroes Month. All right, let's get into some of the shows this week. Those of you that are on, again, articles that I've talked about this week, look this stuff up. If it's something you're interested in, just do Google searches on that stuff. I'm not going to put them in the comment sections because I got in trouble last time I did that from one of the social media platforms. I didn't like it. Nonetheless, yeah. Let's get into some of the shows this week. We got a new show on the network. It's called Senior Living Guide. So we have some of us out there are getting a little more seasoned. But Senior Living Guide, we're a seniorlivingguide.com podcast. We're happy to have them on the platform. It's a great new show. This particular week, inspiration was a heartbeat of today's talk. You hear about a gentleman by the name of Brad Miller's remarkable journey with prostate cancer and his creation of the Cancer and Comedy podcast, and how he started it to support others in finding hope through humor. Pretty cool. So we discussed the university, or they discuss his podcast and the message that he shares, transcending beyond cancer. And it's you listen to this, and it was quite a story on how he developed the cancer, how he found out about the cancer, but he didn't take a negative approach to it. He wanted to help other people with it. So it was pretty cool. Check it out. Seniorlivingguide.com is the website, and that's the podcast as well. So check it out. Pop. Hey, yeah, I bet you do remember that statement. Yeah. Pop, seniorlivingguide.com. We'll talk about it later. Next up, we got your 6 at 6 with our friends over at the People's Patriot Project. Every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Got an email this morning. They said, Andrea over there says, hey, here's the show lineup this week. Absolutely love this. They got some cool cats. I love it. She got some cool cats this weekend. They're going to be joined by Mr. Melvin Gatewood with Operation Continue Service. Great organization. Looking forward to this one. And then the music this week is going to be with their new friend, John Hensley. And they're going to be sharing 3 newer songs on Sunday. So this is Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. They do a live on Facebook. Now, truth be told, the People's Patriot Project, nonprofit organization, this is just one of the shows that they have. Sunday night, they do it live, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But they do 2 other shows during the week as well. They got a BP3 radio. I think I got it right this time. And then they do kind of like a weekly wrap-up, I believe, on Monday nights as well. But you can find out all their information. Go to the peoplespatriotproject.com or go to People's Patriot Project on Facebook, and you can see it. And don't forget, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check it out. Next up, we got the Decision Hour with yours truly. This week, had a great conversation. It was all about veterans, faith, and finding new paths. I got to sit down with Mr. Jeremy Stallneckler. I said it right in the show. I can't say it right now. Jeremy is a United States Marine Corps combat veteran. He's also the co-founder and CEO of the Mighty Oaks Foundation. I want everybody to take a look at this organization. It's absolutely amazing. Jeremy is a pastor. He's also an author, and he has a very, very large following on social media. And when you listen to him, he's got a podcast as well. When you hear him speak, it's very easy to understand why. But in this episode, we share the challenging journey of transitioning out of the military service into a life of pastoral ministry and leadership. He opens up about his emotional and mental hurdles that he faced leaving the Marine Corps. We talk a little bit about the Mighty Oaks Foundation and what they do. I personally know 3 people that have gone through the Mighty Oaks Foundation's program, and nothing but good things that I've heard about it. It's absolutely amazing. I think encourage everybody to take a look at it. Jeremy is also an author. He's written several books, and I will have his information in the show notes. But this was such an awesome opportunity to sit down and talk with him. So go check it out. That's this week's Decision Hour. Bless you too. I appreciate you guys. Next up, what do we got? Every Man's Odyssey, one of our newer shows on the platform. This week, this episode explores the topic of failure and how to respond to it. Cole shares his stories of his own failures and lessons learned from them. The key takeaways that failure is a necessary part of life and can be used as a resource for success. Listen. You can't be afraid to fail. You have to fail. Failure is, I think, is a good thing. I think if you fail, as long as you get back up and you take a different approach to it and you keep moving forward, failure is a good thing because it helps you learn. And that's part of life, right? So don't be afraid of failure. Check it out, Every Man's Odyssey. Next up, our man Rich was on here a little bit earlier. The Misfit Nation podcast. They do a couple of shows each week. Yesterday's show, Guy Morris, a retired executive with a remarkable career spanning Fortune 100 software and high-tech and global energy industries. Guy is a tapestry of adventure and achievement, from being a published songwriter for Disney Records to a patented investor. He's also a Coast Guard charter captain and now a self-published author of thrilling novels. And I believe he's written several books. Drawing from his diverse experience, including facing cartel death threats in Latin America and shark diving in Morea, Guy crafts pulse-pounding thrillers that not only entertain but also educate and inspire dialogue on real-world issues. This is a pretty cool episode. I got to listen to it late last night. It's pretty cool. So check it out. That's the Misfit Nation podcast. Homefront Sit Rep podcast is up next. They got some new stuff coming out. Stay tuned for that. Next up, we got the Joel Evans Show. This week, Joel's talking with John Maxwell's top leadership coach, Al Herrera. This week, they're discussing leadership is about influence, not just having a title. Words to live by there. Self-talk and identity play a crucial role in overcoming challenges and becoming a leader. Feedback and accountability are crucial for growth and development. And forgiveness is a powerful tool for personal growth and freedom. This was a great episode. Check it out. It's the Joel Evans Show. What do we got next? We got a few more here coming in. The Hero Academy was Super Dave. This week, he sits down with Rob Stiesel, a seasoned law enforcement professional, bringing a unique perspective to the podcast this week. Rob was born and raised in Jersey City. Talks about his time with the NYPD housing unit to his tenure as a trooper in the New Jersey State Police. He shares some of his heart-pounding pursuits, and reflects on some of the sacrifices and camaraderie that you have to deal with in that business, law enforcement. Good stuff. Hats off to you. It's the Hero Academy. Next up, we got Beyond the Rut, another veteran-owned podcast. Absolutely love it. Our man Jerry. This week, have you ever felt stuck in a rut? Well, certainly. Unsure of how to break free and live a life you truly desire. In this episode, they're going to explore common lies that keep us trapped, from feelings of unworthiness to the belief that we don't have enough time or resources to pursue our dreams. I think I think a lot of people think that, but once you sit down and actually break it down, take some time to break it down, you'll see that you have everything you need. You got the time that you need. You just got to make it priority, right? Check it out. This is a great episode, Beyond the Rut. Next up, we got Label Free Podcast. This week, Melissa Moon, an Elon healing facilitator and embodiment practitioner. Melissa shares her personal healing journey, starting with a sudden lump in her throat that led her to explore the connection between abundant health and well-being. This was an interesting episode, talking about really diving in to your body, getting connected, whatnot. Great episode, Label Free Podcast. Check it out. Next up, Other Side of the Firewall. This week, conversation covers various topics, including streaming services, movies, video games, and social media. They discussed their experience with Disney Plus and Hulu, as well as their thoughts on horror movies and upcoming films like Sonic and Deadpool. That was today's show. That one literally launched about midnight early this morning. Other Side of the Firewall, they do a show every day, Monday through Friday. Check it out. Next up, we got our friends over at Pushing Back Chaos. Pay attention. Actionable pathways for change. Change often gets a bad reputation, right? I think nobody really likes change. Most people don't like change. They like to get in that routine and kind of stick with it, right? We fear the unknown, and change carries some aspect of unknown, but we don't change. If we cannot adapt ourselves to a changing world, we will remain static and stuck. So true. So this week, Mike and Melon are in the midst of some major life changing themselves. They discuss strategies to both improve motivation to act when change is necessary. They talk about anything and everything. A true test of an effective process is one that can be used with professional military and aviation colleagues, and the work just as effective with your family. You will hear examples of how to build motivation to take the first step, and they will cover Colonel John Boyd's OODA loop and the alternate CSIM models. Now, what is OODA loop and what is the CSIM model? They're acronyms because these guys are both military, and that's what we like to do in the military. Use a bunch of acronyms, so we like to confuse the hell out of people. But if you want to know what they are, take a listen to the show. Pushing Back Chaos. Check it out. Next up, we got Because Bikers Matter podcast. This one here, Vegas Schumann interviews Chet Galaska, a diabetes advocate and author. Chet shares his personal journey with diabetes, highlighting the importance of understanding the disease and its management. Throughout the episode, the discussion highlights significant individualized care and the role of the healthcare professionals, and the importance to open communication about diabetes. This was a very informative and educational show. And those of you that either suffer with diabetes yourself or you know somebody with diabetes, this is the type of show that you want to listen to, learn from it. Check it out, Because Bikers Matter podcast. Next up, we got the MSEC podcast, Military Child Education Coalition. This week, it's titled A Journey Through Military Life and Leadership Lessons. Young man Nicholas shares his journey from military upbringing to pursuing his dreams in aviation. Discover the impactful role of the S2S programs, great programs that they offer there, the value of kindness, and the essence of civic service. It's a story of leadership, ambition, and the sky's ahead. I love it. I love it when they get the youth on this podcast. Military Child Education Coalition, great nonprofit organization, militarychild.org. You can go check it out. Again, military, active duty, guard, reserve, veterans. If you have kids of age that are still in school, go follow this organization. They have a lot of great resources for you. Next up, we got the Arms Room Show. This week, they're discussing how to push your carbine to its max distance. I took notes on this one because I'm going to go test this out myself, and I will get back to you. So check it out, Arms Room Show. Great episode. Let me see here. Last, certainly not least, this week's shows, we got Chasing Happiness. This week, David Buck joins the show. He's a true expert in empowering business professionals and their financial advisors to craft purposeful and fulfilling career and post-career lifestyles. He dives into the passion for time management and how its cornerstone has worked in his life. And he's created an organization called Infinity Lifestyle Design. Go check it out. They give you a lot of actionable items and advice in this episode. So if you can listen to it, which I strongly encourage you to do, especially if you have a problem with time management, get a pen and a pad and take some notes. This show is called Chasing Happiness. Check it out. Shout out to some of our sponsors. Again, I mentioned we're going to be at Warriors on the Water, LTD's pig roast. And I thought I had it up here. In fact, let me show you guys here. I'll put it on the screen because those of you that are in the area, that's where we're going to be. Armed Forces Day, Saturday, May 18th at the Ocotillo Reservoir. It's a fundraising event. Again, support military veterans, first responders, and their families. They're going to have live music, food, fishing, Humvee rides. Oh, there you go. Crafts and games, and of course, lots of fishing. So come check it out if you're in the area. This is in southern Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Come check it out. That's Warriors on the Water. And you can go to warriorsltd.org or .com and check it out. Shout out to Jim Neary's Bait and Tackle. Appreciate you guys. The Freedom People, Home Studio Mastery. If you're a podcaster and you want to get a decent setup or a good setup and not sure what to do for your home studio, reach out to homestudiomastery.com. Check them out. Get a hold of them. Love what they do over there. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. Forget Genetics. Our buddy Barry. Hunting season's right around the corner. Let's be honest. Hunting season's always around the corner. Am I right? Go to forgetgenetics.com. If you use promo code HMG, he's going to give you a discount at checkout. So go check it out. JB Auto Clothiers. It's too hot. I don't have my jacket on today, but go check it out. Veteran-owned company, suiting up, transitioning veterans, suiting up everybody. But they work closely with Team Auto and their Veterans Closet program. Absolutely love their work. My Tax Fella. Listen, small business owners, one of the things that I don't like doing is keeping books. They gotta keep the books, but we hire that out. And My Tax Fella, that's one of the services that they offer is keeping books, and they also handle our taxes. I've been working with this organization for the 9 years now under this brand, and absolutely love their team over there. They do a phenomenal job. My Tax Fella, thank you. And then go check out our sister company, hmgbeverage.com, or go to HMG Coffee. They'll take you right to the store page. Get some coffee. We'll mail it out to you. If you use promo code HMG, we're going to give you 10% off this month. So check that out as well. Again, May is Heroes Month here at HMG. So shout out to all of the community heroes out there that are making it happen. And shout out to my brothers and sisters in arms. Love each and every one of you guys and gals. Appreciate you, past, present, and looking forward to some of you future ones as well. So shout out. You make sure you pay attention because we're going to be making posts about our military military appreciation month. We're going to, once during National Nurses Week, we're going to make sure we shout out our nurses. Police Week, we're going to shout out our law enforcement. Military spouses, they got a military spouse day. We give you a shout out. And of course, Memorial Day, we're going to pay our true respects to that as well. And then I'm sure some of you are going to want to do a Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you, whatever, that kind of thing. And then Cinco de Mayo, because let's be honest, everybody likes Cinco de Mayo up here, apparently. At least that's what I'm reading. So check out the events. Again, May 18th, if you're in Pennsylvania or Northern Maryland, come on up. This is going to be a fun event. So David Willis, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Happy Oaks Day. Yeah. Good stuff. Listen, guys, that's all the time. I'm gonna cut it today. But remember this real quick. Get outside this weekend. Oh, PSA, totally forgot. Here's a safety brief. Okay, I've never done one of these on this show. I'm going to give you guys a safety brief for this weekend. Weather is getting warmer. The sun is out. You can't see my back right now, but I got sun poisoning because your boy thought he was smart, and I'm not in that aspect of it. I was staining my deck on Sunday. I had my shirt off. It was hot out, but it wasn't like, it was kind of cloudy. I got burnt like Barney purple on my entire back, and I'm still suffering from it. So that being said, if you're going to be outside working, wear long sleeve or put like SPF 1000 on. Do not get burnt. Sun poisoning is a real thing. With that safety brief, shut the computers off, put your phone down for like an hour. I challenge everybody to get outside for like an hour, walk around, do something productive, get out and enjoy the outdoors this weekend. Check on your battle buddies, call family members, tell them you love them. Just get out and get away from the technology for a little bit. That's all the time I got today, guys. I appreciate you all. God bless you. God bless America. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.